You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. All right, you guys, salute everybody tapping on in. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all come in the building, man. Breaking news update for you guys around the world, man. As Kanye West, who has said a lot of derogatory things about a lot of people. I mean, bro, this dude, he left nothing to, on the plate. Um, he is now officially, and this has been going on. This situation has been, I told y'all this, I did a video on this yesterday. I don't know if you guys actually saw the video I did. I did a video. The video I did was just a normal video on this channel. A lot of you guys, y'all got to go check my normal videos to actually see the videos I do versus live streams. Live streams and videos are two different things. Make sure y'all check out my normal video content, and you will see this. Uh, Yesterday I did a video, and in that video I basically told y'all that over there at the wireless event in the UK, Kanye West was supposed to headline for 3 days. He was supposed to be the headliner by himself for 3 days in the UK. They already had the event packed, booked, everything. And then all the sponsors started pulling out. Diageo pulled out. Pepsi pulled out. PayPal pulled out. And more sponsors were threatening to pull out. Now, this is after Kanye West, after everything this guy had said and did, went to the SoFi in California and sold out 2 straight nights and made $33 million. Well, he had people so upset, heads was spinning because he was about to go to the UK. Remember, they already had situations in other countries as well. In Brazil, they told him, hey, man, if you come over here and perform that song, we're going to lock your ass up. If you come over here and perform any of the songs that he had that had the derogatory terms in it. Kanye West, now they're in the mode where they're going to try and get his ass up out of here for real. And I knew it. Once I saw them big companies start to pull out, I said, it's going to be too much, even though he has so many people that he still have that are listening to his music, that are fans, of his music. It wasn't going to outnumber all of those big companies because they're going to just try and shut him down. They're going to try and box him out. And how they're going to do it is they're going to box out the actual platforms, meaning stadiums, arenas, platforms. They're going to box all that out to make sure he can't coexist and have a place to go do these performances. And I saw that once they saw, in my opinion, because they probably thought, ain't nobody gonna go to this guy's shows. He washed up, he done. Nobody's gonna care about what he's got going on. Or when they saw what happened in Cali, those last couple days, when this man had jam-packed arenas and he made $33 million off 2 shows, and they said, nah, we're gonna put this to an end. So, and here's what Kanye West tried to do, and I'm gonna go through the history of this situation. Kanye West tried to clean this up. Now I'm gonna tell y'all what he did. After all the stuff Kanye West said, remember he had went on like a damn near a month, 2 months rant on X where he just took over X. It got so bad they had to shut down his X account. It got so you gotta do a whole lot in this area to get your X account shut down. Well, he was saying so much stuff and going at so many people that they finally had to turn his X down because of take his X down because of all the things that he was saying. Now, after all those things that Kanye West came out and said, right? Uh, he offered just the other day, as they was talking about, because they had high-powered officials. I told y'all this in a video yesterday in the UK that was writing the actual, top of the UK food chart to tell them, look, ban this guy from coming to the country. He ain't coming out here headlining on mega 3-day concert where he's headlining and that's it. No, get his ass out of here. So what happened was Kanye West in the last hour, he already tried to offer an apology, right? He tried to offer an apology, right? But Kanye West, he came out and what people didn't know was at the last minute, he tried to meet with Jewish leaders. He tried to meet with the Jewish community in the UK to save his concert. So Kanye West came out and said he'll be grateful to meet members of the Jewish community in the UK after controversy over his headline booking at this year's Wireless Festival, but they wasn't trying to hear it. And I'm going to tell y'all what happened. So according to the BBC, they're saying in a statement, Kanye West said he has been following the conversation around the wireless event in the UK and that he offered to meet representatives of the community in person to listen. Now he says, I know that words aren't enough. I'll give you exact quotes from Kanye, Buck Nance, and West. He says, I know that words aren't enough, added the star, who has a history of making certain comments that defend people. And this is, I'm reading the article to y'all now. It says, I'll have to show change through my actions. So Kanye West was willing to cut a jig. He was willing to buck dance and shuck and jive away from all the things he had said just to get this money, just to get this gig. He says, if you're open, I'm here, Kanye West said. In a statement, so Kanye West was not willing to stand on none of the stuff he said when they said, we're going to take your money and we're going to stop you from performing. He wasn't willing to stand on it. So in a statement, the Board of Deputies of British Jews says it was willing to meet Kanye West on the condition that he pulled out of his planned performances at the Wireless. So they didn't even want him. They said, we'll meet you, but you can't perform at that Wireless festival. You're done. And the Jewish community, it says, will want to see a genuine remorse and change before believing that the appropriate place to test this sincerity is on the main stage at the Wireless Festival, said the board's president, Phil Rosenberg. Now, Kanye West, right? He was supposed to headline. Now, he was granted a visa to perform in the UK in the last few days, according to Melvin Ben, managing director of the Festival Republic, which organizes the event, right? Now, speaking to the BBC today, Ben said that he has a visa already issued to appear to come into the country, and the Home Security may well rescind that today. I don't know, he says. If she does, then the issue is over in the terms of his appearance, right? So the Home Office said it was not aware of any immediate plans for Kanye to, visit the UK, but his permission to enter is currently being reviewed, right? So this is what they kind of had to say. Let me play this for y'all. And they're saying people love Kanye West over there in the UK, his music.
There's a case that culturally he is a really important artist. Culturally, he is played across the radio stations and enjoyed by millions of people across the UK. He is able to perform in other countries. He played in Los Angeles 2 nights last week to 70,000 people each night. No issues there, no furore. And his performances were enjoyed by the thousands of fans that were there. So, he has made abhorrent statements. Of course he has, and they're equally abhorrent to me as they are to members of the Jewish community.
Should you not, at an early stage, have said to Jewish groups in this country, "You okay with this?"
Yeah, potentially we should have done, Justin, and that may prove to be a mistake that we've made. But so potentially we should have done. We did with Pepsi, for instance, our lead sponsor, and they signed off and approved it, for example. And perhaps we should have done.
Really, that's fascinating. Sorry to interrupt again, but that's fascinating. So Pepsi, who's pulled out now, haven't they? Pepsi originally were quite happy for him to come.
Correct. Yes, they're our headline sponsor. We asked them and asked them to sign off on it, and they did.
So he has an approved visa. He has the right to come at the moment, and if the Home Secretary were to act, she'd be rescinding that visa.
And the Home Secretary has the right to rescind it. Of course, she does, and we'll see what she says later in the day.
And that was the pressure right there, because the man said that Pepsi signed on for Kanye, but then the pressure of the powers to be behind the scenes said, nope, he ain't coming. He out of here. He's banned. And so all the companies started to pull out. Pepsi pulled out. Diageo pulled out. We all heard about Diageo. We understand that from the Diddy case. But Diageo pulled out. PayPal pulled out. A lot of other companies were starting to pull out of sponsoring that a major festival over there, the Wireless Festival in the UK. Kanye was going to headline 3 days. So Kanye was willing to sell his soul and buck dance from what he was saying. All those things he was saying, he was willing to come back and say, I'm sorry, Daddy, I'm sorry. I apologize for everything I said. Let me come perform, please. And they said, nope, your ass is gone. So now what they've done is, after Kanye West begged and begged, and he begged his ass off. He begged his ass off, right? And you had so many people coming out, going in on Kanye West, right? You had so many people going in on Kanye West that now, right, they have just banned him from entering the United Kingdom. So they have revoked his visa. They have just banned his ass. It's all over the BBC right now. He just got blocked uh, from traveling to the UK over this entire controversy. Now, let's get to that part, because and Kanye can't blame nobody but himself. He can only blame himself, right? So let's get to that. So they're saying that the Home Office told the BBC that Kanye West made an application to travel to the UK yesterday via an electronic travel authorization. Now, and y'all smash the like button as y'all come on here and share the video. It said the decision to refuse permission was made on the grounds that his presence would not be conducive to the public good. For almost half a decade, Kanye West has caused outrage, they said. This is what they're saying in the report. I'm not saying this personally, I'm reading the report. It says Kanye West has caused outrage for his string of anti-Semitic, racist, pro-Nazi comments. They said the Western Wireless Festival has not yet publicly responded to the decision. The BBC News has asked its representatives for comment. Kanye West said earlier Tuesday that he would be grateful to meet members of the Jewish community in the UK after controversy of his booking. He said that he has been following the conversation around the wireless and offered to meet representatives of the community in person to listen. He says, I know words aren't enough, Kanye said. He says, I'll have to show my change through my actions. If you're open, I'm here, Kanye said. In a statement to the Board of Deputies, the British Jews said they were willing to meet him, like I told y'all, but only if he pulled out of that concert. And the Jewish community, they said they wanted to see a. And remember, they kind of did this to Kyrie Irving too. They just try to break you down, and they said, "Hey, you're gonna do all of these things before we feel like we're deeming you to be safe." And all of this stuff Kanye West had been doing over a long period of time. Remember, I told y'all all this stuff he was doing on the internet, right? So check this out, right? The promoter highlighted the role that Kanye West's mental health may have played and asked people for understanding. And he says mental health is not something that disappears overnight. He said people suffer psychotic behavior. They suffer bipolar behavior for many, many years. And I think people are forgetting that. But Jewish groups criticized Mr. Ben's support of Kanye West. Now, the board of the deputies of uh, British Jews said that the wireless boss's stance would not reassure many within the Jewish or other communities. Now, in a statement, the board added that it has been less than a year since Kanye West released a song entitled Hail You Know What. Now, the culmination of 3 years of appalling anti Semitism. Now, he made a number of deeply offensive comments about the black community. And we're going to get into this too, right? As well, they said, experience saying that slavery was like a choice. Now, they says that we are willing to meet Kanye as a part of his journey of healing, but only after he agrees not to play the wireless festival this year. They completely destroyed this guy's money because he destroyed himself by doing that, then trying to go back on it and apologize. Kanye West tried to double dip. He tried to double dip, right? Now, the campaign against anti-Semitism said that he pulled out the event, but they said that Mr. West has previously made apologies right before the album release, right? And concert tours, and then retracted the apology and reverted to type, they said. We need to be persuaded that this time it'll be different, it said in a statement. If Mr. West cancels his appearances at Wireless, it will be a sign that he may be genuine in his remorse. If he does not, then meeting with Jewish groups can serve no purpose other than to kosher his invitation to the festival, which we will play no part in, they said. Right? Um, they're going in on Kanye, man. You know what I'm saying? They said if he wants forgiveness, it's not my forgiveness he needs. Streeting told Radio 4. Streeting was the health secretary, West Streeting, right? And he called Kanye West's apology mealy mouth and self-serving, and accused the Wireless of offering Kanye a fig leaf of credibility, right? And so he says that it's the forgiveness of the Jewish communities. And I don't think he's done anything to earn that, is what they're saying. Now, it goes on to say that Shadow Home Secretary Chris Phillips said that Kanye West was guilty of appalling anti Semitic and pro Nazi statements and urged Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood to use her powers under the Immigration Act to reject Kanye West a visa. Liberal Democrat leader Ed Davey also called for Kanye West to be banned from entering the United Kingdom, while Reform UK leader Nigel Farage said, personally, I wouldn't buy a ticket. But here's the thing, here's the problem that they have. Let me tell y'all this. Here's the problem that they have, right? The problem that they have is this, right? The problem that they have is Kanye got so many people, he got so many fans that still gonna back him, right? This is the issue that's going on right now. He's got so many people that, now what the powers to be is, they're going and shutting down his avenues, shutting down his avenues, shutting down his avenues, shutting down his avenues, shutting down his avenues. That's what they're gonna continue to do. Now, to think about what happened with Kanye West, here's some of the things that Kanye West said that got him in trouble. Kanye West, in an interview with TMZ on May 2018, he says, when you hear about slavery for 400 years, for 400 years, question mark, that sounds like a choice. He elaborated that it seemed like black people stayed mentally enslaved. At at Paris Fashion Week 2022, he wore and sold White Lives Matters t-shirts, a phrase widely viewed as a direct counter to Black Lives Matter, uh, and associated with white supremacist pushback. He defended it by saying White Lives Matters in his interviews. In multiple appearances in 2022, he repeated the false claim that George Floyd died primarily from a fentanyl overdose rather than police actions, undermining the narrative of police brutality against Black Americans. Kanye West also criticized aspects of the Black culture or leadership in interviews, comments on abortion rates in the Black community as the leading cause of death, or broader statements from implying personal choices over systemic racism, which some in the Black community viewed as self-hating or harmful from Kanye West. Right? Right? Then he turned around and apologized to the Black community. So in January 2026 in Wall Street, he specifically addressed the Black community in the Wall Street ad. Right? He said the Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. I'm so sorry to have let you down. I love us, he said. Now, those statements led to widespread backlash, lost business deals from Adidas and Gap, and accusations that his words fueled real-world anti-Semitic incidents. He has repeatedly apologized for these recent years, stating that in one ad he was deeply mortified and is not a Nazi or an anti-Semite, and that he loves Jewish people, is what Kanye West said, right? So Kanye West, he said plenty of other things as well. Um, you know, he said that I'm going DEF CON 3 on Jewish people. He followed that up with claims that Jewish people toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda, but then turns around and tries to apologize and says he's sorry, he was wrong. On Drink Champs in 2020 of October, he said Jared Kushner is an example of how Jewish people have their hand on every single business that controls the world. But then he tried to turn back on that and apologize for that. Then, the same appearance, he says, we're not going to be owned by Jewish media anymore. Every celebrity has Jewish people in their contract. And these people, if you say anything out of the line with the agenda, then your career can be over. And then Kanye West turned around and apologized and said, "Now I want to meet with y'all," so his career wouldn't be over. Is that keeping it real or what? Then on Piers Morgan Uncensored in October 2022, Kanye West says Kim Kardashian has in his media handlers surrounding her. Those same people he tried to just apologize to so he could perform in the UK. In a Tucker Carlson interview in October 2022, he claimed that Planned Parenthood was created to control the Jew population, while promoting Black Hebrew Israelite ideas that Black people are the real Jews. He added he'd rather his kids learn about Hanukkah than Kwanzaa. At least it'll come with some financial engineering, he said. On InfoWars, December 2022, he praised Hitler extensively. I see good things about Hitler. Every human being has some value or something of value, especially Hitler. He said, I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis. He says, there's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. I like Hitler. I am a Nazi. And argue that we should stop dissing the Nazi. And also said that Jewish banks froze his accounts and compared abortion to the Holocaust. And these are all the things he said. He also, on February 2025, said in a tirade on X, I am a Nazi. Hitler was so fresh. I love Hitler now. What, bitches? I'm never going to apologize for my Jewish comments. I can say whatever I want to say forever and don't like it or trust any Jewish person. Anti-Semitism is just some shit Jewish people made up to protect their bullshit. Jews are ignorant, are arrogant, and think they can speak to anyone any kind of way. That's why every Jewish wife is a bitch and Jews are way better as slaves. You have to put your Jews in their place and make them into your slaves. He also wrote, I am racist stereotypes exist for a reason and they're all be true, end quote. So Kanye West said all these things about the Jewish people and then turned around and tried to have a secret meeting and apologize to them so he can have his own show. They just tell you about Kanye West and where he's at, period. So he was willing to say this stuff in public. And then as soon as they said, okay, well, we're going to cut your money, we're going to cut your finances, and how you work, since you said that all these things, then he turned around and said, oh, no, I apologize, man. I take that back. Same thing happened to the Black community. He turned around and did that in the Black community when he said all those things about Black folks. And then when Black folks got on his helmet, then he turned around and apologized and did all and said, nah, man, I apologize, man. You know what I'm saying? And then people just, opened their arms to him and took him right back. This is the same thing he did when he went on the Make America Great Again tour. Kanye West went out there on the Donald Trump Make America Great Again tour, and he was just going crazy. Remember that? He was the first main guy that went in there, put on the hat, and was just, saying whatever he wanted to say. He was really just, living it up in his eyes. This is what Kanye West was doing. So he felt like he was standing on real business by doing this. That's what Kanye West felt like. You know what I'm saying? That's what he felt like, right? So his situation now is crazy because I think that what's going to happen is it's going to expand. I believe that now that they saw that this happened, they're going to try and do this in more situations. You know what I mean? And I'm telling y'all this. You feel me? I'm telling y'all this. But you guys, y'all definitely all have to let me know what y'all feel about this, man. They're shutting him down, bro. And this is just the first. The UK is the first. I've already seen other countries. You saw what happened in Brazil. Other countries said, "Bro, you can't." And other countries, they're going to try to shut him down. And I don't even think they are. I think they are. And I think in the United States, they're going to start putting pressure on venues to shut him down too. Once they saw, because they probably thought he wasn't going. Man, ain't nobody going to be rocking with this dude. He's out of his mind. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't gonna sell shit. We ain't when he went over there to the SoFi and did 70,000 on the first 2 nights and made $33 million, they said, "Oh hell no!" When they saw that all these people were still supporting Kanye, of all, bro, you had more white people, you had black people in there in his concerts, chanting every word of his songs. Once they saw that, even though Kanye was trying to apologize so he could do his shows, wasn't gonna work. Wasn't gonna work. Kanye been doing that. He did that with the black community. He did that with the Jewish community. He been doing it all over. He'll talk all this trash about you, and then as soon as you say, "Okay, we ain't rocking with you," he come back and apologize and get back in your good graces. That's what he did. He forced himself to be a target in this situation. See, you don't even see MAGA talking about this guy no more. MAGA used to put Kanye West on a platform. They don't even talk about him no more. See, when he was talking about blacks, they had no problem with that. Think about what I just said. When Kanye West is out here dogging black folks, talking about slavery was a choice, all that, MAGA had no problems with that. Then look what happened. To the person who says he can still tour in all these other places, they're going to shut him down. China, they're going to shut him down. Japan, they're going to shut him back down. Australia, they're going to shut him down. New Zealand, they're going to shut him down. They're going to shut him down in all these places. Trust what I tell you. Because these sponsors are in all these different places. What happens is once those sponsors start pulling out, the sponsors ain't going to just pull out one event. This is what's going to happen. This is how I'm going to educate you, my brother. I don't want to talk down about you, but I'm going to educate you, brother, from what you just said. I'm going to tell you what the sponsors going to do. See, these sponsors I'm talking about are worldwide sponsors, sir. So they say, okay, cool. You don't want to play ball with us? You want to come still bring Kanye West here for this one event? That's one event. What you gonna do if we never work with you again and we go put our back into somebody else? That's how you effectively shut a guy down worldwide. These sponsors are worldwide. Pepsi worldwide, PayPal worldwide. All these sponsors are worldwide. These are worldwide brands that you can go buy in every country, right? So all they're gonna do is, and this is I'm giving you the game of what they do. They're gonna go to all of these different places and say, if you book this guy, we ain't sponsoring no more of your events here. We pulling out everything y'all got going on over here. So that way you ain't gonna have money to do nothing. So when you want to do another show, you want to do somebody else, we ain't gonna back you. We ain't rolling with you. You gonna do this favor for us. And this is how you break a person. See, the stuff that happened in Cali, they probably thought, like I said, they thought Kanye was gonna be destroyed. I mean, they was like, oh, ain't nobody rocking with this guy. He ain't sold no million. He didn't do a million in the first week of his album. He only did like 150. He out of here. But when they saw those shows, and those shows was jam packed, them people's going crazy. And Kanye had made $33 million in 2 nights. Shit, you already knew what was gonna happen. He was gonna have to apologize, right? And this is where the hypocrisy comes in. When you say you stand on something, you gotta stand on that. If you don't, then everything you said was an act, right? So this is the same pattern I told y'all with the black community. But remember, MAGA had no problem with Kanye when he was saying that stuff about black folks. They had a problem once he started talking about the Jewish community. Then they was like, nah, they turned on Kanye. You don't hear them talking about Kanye no more, right? And that's why you see Kanye turn around trying to apologize to everybody. So this is how the venues shut you down. Not the venue, excuse me, the sponsors shut you down. Because when these people do shows, they gotta have sponsors. Somebody to sponsor the show, right? So they go and get these big sponsors. The sponsors say, okay, we don't like this guy. You bring this guy, we ain't working with you no more. That's just how I roll. So who you think they're gonna pick? Kanye West for 3 nights or a long-lasting, forever relationship. Nah, they're gonna pick that relationship because they're gonna need you for other shows. Kanye West ain't gonna do every show for you. That's how it works. That's how they're gonna shut his ass down. And you're gonna see this happen worldwide. So to the brother who said they're gonna do this, they're gonna expand this worldwide now. Because they're gonna say, oh, okay, we got the UK to ban his ass. Right? Corporations and sponsors were dropping out. The major sponsors were dropping out of the wireless. Because they was having this guy. Right? And sure, the show would have been probably would have been jam packed over in the UK. But here's the problem: and people say he always land on his feet. Yeah, well, that's because they've allowed him to. This is the thing: when they cut off all your oxygen, you can't land on your feet no more. What do you mean, Ticket? When they cut you off all their platforms that they have any kind of links or sponsorships to, they hadn't completely did that to Kanye West yet, right? So remember what I just said to y'all. It's a lot of different aspects to this thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all smash the like button, man. I know y'all ain't getting no notifications for this, but it is what it is. This is a video that I thought was very important. So he has just been banned from the UK. They have just revoked this man's his visa. He can't go. So they've shut down his 3-day show. Right? 3-day show. So he was the headliner. Mega festival. And so watch. You're gonna see what I tell y'all. They're gonna start doing this in concession with him. What they're gonna do is they're gonna try to completely break him down and like they're gonna force him, right, to come out here publicly. And if he doesn't publicly come out here, they're probably gonna do an interview, all this stuff. They're gonna force him to publicly apologize. They're gonna make him they're gonna strip him publicly in front of everybody. And they're gonna deem him well enough to come out here and ever perform again. Right? This is the part y'all gotta understand. That's how this thing works. So the tester was Cali, right? Now watch how the pressure is getting put on these other places. So if you get independent contractors that come in that say, oh, I don't want no sponsor, I just want to have blah 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 blah. He might can do that, but it'll hurt you because in some places where you're gonna need sponsors, I'm talking about big shows, it's gonna hurt you going forward because they'll use that against you. Right? This is the same like in the rap industry. How rappers, big time rappers, blackball other rappers. Like they'll tell, hey man, if you work with that guy, man, I'll never work with you again. Like things like that. Right? So pay close attention to this situation because this shit is real, what I'm telling y'all, man. It's definitely real. And so, yeah, man, remember they had started closing down banks with Kanye West. It had gotten that bad, that deep. They started closing down banks with this guy. So they damn sure wasn't playing with him, right? Damn sure wasn't playing with him. So yeah, y'all like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate all of you guys that's in here, man. I got some more important videos coming up for y'all today. So make sure y'all ring the notification bell so y'all get all the updates. And check the comments that I have pinned in the comment section if y'all want to support. Oh, and shout out to Elaine. I seen you sent the $50 donation in the PayPal. Salute to you. I love you and I appreciate you. Also, Paul Harrison, salute to you with the $50 donation in the Cash App last night. So I appreciate those two people coming through showing love. Y'all make sure y'all let me know what y'all think. Pull up, man, and holler at your boy. I'm gone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.